That's what I want. I want the woman's perspective.
Wouldn't be cool with that.
You go on a date with a dude and you find out that he got all these other girls he went on dates with, he got them gifts and took them to 5-star restaurants.
Like any of us would be cool
you
with
gotta
it,
let
right?
me finish.
Yeah.
You can't keep interrupting.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was done. I just said I don't think anyone else would be cool with it. I'm sorry for interrupting. It's my bad. I have that. That's a problem. I'm actually genuinely sorry.
But again, I'm hoping to get a response from you guys. So all the other girls he dated and who he just had like casual, like he was just trying to like casually, right? He was like, he took all the casual chicks. He took them to 5-star dinner. But now he wants a relationship with you. You just get McDonald's.
It sounds like a power dynamic to me. It sounds like initially when he met all those women, the reason he tried so hard to impress them is because he's trying to show that he's like, in power. Oh, I can afford this meal. I can afford this. I can afford that, blah, 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 blah. And that's the entire sense around why you're with me. Now he's been burned so many times before that he looks at you, a girl that he really likes, and he says, actually, rather than giving
No, he hasn't been burned. I don't know why you keep trying
Okay, whatever. That, well, obviously he's been burned if he's going to another girl. Not saying burned like emotionally scarred forever, but obviously things did not work out. They burned up. They didn't work.
Can you say the question and like completely dumb it down for us even more so we can all just give you a straight answer?
It sounds like he has the power. Like he wants to.
I don't know where the power. I'm not sure where the power thing came from.
The question is.
Okay, I'll repeat it again. Okay. Man dated other women, and he just had casual sex with them and didn't want a relationship with them. In order to get to the casual sex, he took them to really nice restaurants and got them gifts and paid for everything. He meets you. You and he really like you. He want relationship from you. He only
I get what you're doing now.
Stop.
I get it.
Yeah, stop. He only take you to like poor restaurant.
I get it.
He take you to McDonald's.
I understand now.
He no want to spend
like a
lot money.
I get it. Thank you for dumbing it down so much. He's referring it to the sex thing, guys. Maybe it took just me that long, but it took me a long. But he's referring it to the sex thing.
How would you, as women's, feel about this?
I mean, that's a great question, Brian. Honestly.
Oh my God, you're such a troll.
No, I'm not. I'm actually.
How would you feel?
I'd be a little tickled.
A little tickled. Where?
Whatever.
Because sometimes that could be a good thing.
I don't know. It's just like, why McDonald's?
Oh, where do you prefer? Are you more of a Red Lobster girl?
Maybe. I just feel like that.
Cheesecake Factory.
Why McDonald's? Like, am I less valuable? Do you see me as less valuable?
No, you're more valuable is the thing. You're more valuable, so I want to take you to a worse restaurant.
Okay, so I'm going to say I don't want McDonald's. I actually want something else. Maybe BJ's.
You want... Hold on, it's the first date. Pump the brakes. It's a restaurant.
It is.
A restaurant would be nice, yeah, for the first date.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's actually a great analogy, and yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I actually agree with your analogy. I don't know.
I feel like it's the same as the girls saying, like, I like you, so I'm not going to have sex with you. Or the guy saying, I like you, so I'm not going to spend money on you. However, the same way you were saying that's manipulative when women do it. If women have, like... I know you don't like the word power, but I can't think of another word. If women have control with their body and giving it away, and men have, theoretically, if we're going to take this stance, because that's where we're going, control with their money, and the less he gives it away, the more he's like, you actually like me. However, I feel like the same way it's manipulative for girls to do that, because I've done that. Like, I definitely feel like I have regretted doing that, where it's like, I give less to people I like and more to people I don't like when I was in a relationship. But the same thing where it's like, okay, so you're trying to prove that you don't like me that much. Like, oh, like, I'm just going to give you McDonald's, like, don't think that you're like the one, like whatever. So I'm more like, wow, like he takes all these other girls, but for some reason I'm different. Why am I different? Usually I get what I want, and so why am I not getting what I want? It feels manipulative, and that's why I feel like.
So I mean, if that's the case, then that it's a form of manipulation, then wouldn't this stand to Brian's point that, hey, if a woman has slept with the 5 guys previous to you because she just didn't care about them and she cares about you, that would basically just be a massive red flag that this woman is a manipulator?
Yes.
And then wouldn't the entailment of that then be that she should sleep with him on the first date so that she's not being manipulated.
Wait, can you pull up the definition of manipulation? I just want to or can anybody? Because I just
like twisting the truth.
I
don't appeal to your own.
Okay, sure, yes, then it's manipulation for sure. It's manipulation in both senses. And honestly, I have nothing to say. Wait, I don't know. I'm still talking.
The way I
no, but then you went ahead and said something anyway, even though it wasn't.
Well, no, I wanted to know. I wanted to know the definition of. I wanted to know the definition of manipulation.
Yeah, can you let her answer the
question? I'm sorry.
I think remind me.
Yapper.
Maya gave a really good example of this earlier, where maybe when you do feel something more, the pain of losing somebody that you actually like hurts, and the pain of okay, whatever, I went to the club in Miami, I went home with somebody, was that a mistake? Yeah. Was I 6 shots deep? Yeah. Sorry. Oops. Whore. Oops. But no, I'm not. No, I think the pain of losing somebody that you really like, you take it in consideration and you want to build something with them. So is it manipulative? Sure, a little bit, but also we got to survive out here.
I don't know.
This would entail Brian's argument back, right? And say, but wait, you wouldn't want that sort of treatment on a first date from a person paying for the meal who says, look, I really like you, and so I don't want to be spending extravagantly.
But there's proof, there's a reward in the fact that I still want to hang out with you even though we're not having sex. There's a reward in that. There's soul in that. I want to sit with you, I want to talk to you. With the McDonald's, it's kind of just I just think it's kind of icky. There's no person, there's no character, there's nothing to talk about.
Wait a second. Who do you think feels like they got the bigger reward? Oh, honey, I love you. I can't, I really adore you. I can't wait to have a long night talking with you. Or the guy who your brains out last week. Which guy do you feel like like they got the bigger reward?
Don't you think?
I just want to add. Brains out last week for sure.
Hang on. Almost done. Which one do you think feels like they got the bigger reward? The guy who got to have this, or the guy who gets to listen to you talk to him all night?
What feels better?
Okay, I'm gonna interject here.
No, you got to let her answer. Okay. Go ahead.
The sex that you had on the first night when it was in the heat of the moment, or when you're actually talking to somebody more and more and learning about them.
I do have to cut. Hold on, I do have to cut in. You didn't actually answer his question.
Yes, I did. I was literally answering it.
No, you were asking.
He was saying,
him a
"What's
question.
the bigger reward?"
Yeah, you didn't answer it. You were asking him a
not
question.
What's the bigger reward? Which guy do you think feels like they got the bigger reward? The guy who got the sex from you the very first night out, or the guy who got to have the long walk on the beach talking to you?
Yeah, but sometimes you feel like the loser if you had sex immediately and then they leave. You feel like a loser. Not saying that's always the case. I'm just saying sometimes
Wait,
that
just
hurts.
answer his question. Just answer his question.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, the guy that got another notch under his belt, he feels like a big winner, whatever. And I hope he does that again and again and again and again.
Is not
well, hold on, no, Andrew. I'll let you come in just a sec. But you could have sex. Stop. One person talking at a time. You got to stop interrupting. You've done it 20 times.
I'm so sorry.
Just zip it.
My name's Maya.
Zip it good. Okay. It's not an one or the other thing. A guy who wants a long-term relationship with you, he could have sex with you and want to continue seeing you.
I agree. I never get sick of Space Mountain, so.
That's great.
And that's nice.
May I interject?
Go ahead, and then Andrew will.
It's really just kind of a question. You're saying that it could be for one guy that wants to have a long-term relationship with you, you could have sex on the same night, or you could not. Maybe it just comes down to communication then, about asking them what they really want and what they're actually looking for.
What?
So that that. I think there's a stereotype, and there's stereotype that this is anecdotal, but it's what I've been told. If you give it up on the first night, they're not going to talk to you again. Mm-hmm. But I only learned that after, making a few, and I'd say that they were mistakes in the beginning when I kind of was influenced by hookup culture when I was not 18, and so, but when you're communicating with someone about what you want, what you're looking for, and are you saying that it's they should give it up on the first date too?
No. Here's the essential of the argument. What Brian is saying, and also what I'm saying here, right? Because we're just looking at it from the perspective of how you think men would feel and how you think women would feel. So if the idea here is that, look, I really, really like you, and that's why I'm going to make you wait to sleep with me. But the 5 guys previously, they meant nothing to me, so I slept with them immediately. Hang on. Obviously, that's going to make the guy feel like a piece of trash, right? The reverse here is if we were to say, okay, well, I don't want a woman who just wants me for my money, right? I want her to know that I really like her and she really likes me. So I'm not going to be very extravagant on the first date or things like this, but I did that for the 5 women previous to her. That probably wouldn't make her feel very good either. So the point here is to kind of just point out that, well, wait a second. While you say, I'm actually doing this for you because I really like you, think of it from their perspective. They think, well, the 5 guys previous, they got to hit, right? And I get gypped. I just so happen, because I'm so good and you like me so much, I get the thing. I don't get the thing that everybody else gets, right? If you're thinking of it from their perspective.
Yeah.
So that's what's being said.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining. I guess I think everyone has been in their own different situation, maybe even when starting out. And when, say, for example, with the person that let the other 5 guys hit, right? Say they're just, it could all be hypotheticals here. Maybe they're just starting out with sex and they think that the person will call them again and that it'll be fine, and that, they're kind of naive in the way, so they continue to, talk to them, but realize after they did give it up, per se, whether it's in their room or in the car or whatever, the male, not all, and just maybe in some hypothetical situation, seems to be less interested, responding with less words, and it seems to just be that they're replying, not actually thinking in the conversation, and that they don't actually find value in you anymore because they just got what they got. So you realize,
I got this.
Because
Go
then
ahead. No, continue.
So then you kind of learn, okay, if I give it up on the first night, from this pattern that I've been experiencing, they don't usually find value in me, I see.
They never wanted you for a long-term relationship to begin with.
Aww.
So you've had these experiences where you had sex with a guy quickly. He didn't want a long-term relationship to begin with. And now you're going to attribute this perhaps to other men that perhaps do want a long-term relationship, but if you sleep with them too quickly, they're no longer going to want the long-term relationship.
Kind of like guys spending money in the strip club, no?
I guess it was maybe just maybe not seeing in that perspective. I was naive, and I also, maybe they just didn't want anything to begin with.
Look,